So I have not been playing Battlefront 2 for a while. Well, I was kind of forced not to play the game because my computer got hacked and I couldn't really play it for a month. And I guess during that time, people kind of stopped playing Battlefront 2, which kind of sucked. Now, I can still get into games and all of that, but I noticed that it takes a bit longer to load into a game. When I first started playing again, I'm like, oh, is it my internet connection? I realized, no, it's just there's not enough people to fill the games. Even when there is a game, by the next round that starts, people could just leave, and everyone may leave. It's just an effect. And I've been noticing that more and more. And it's kind of weird. I say that because Battlefront 2 is the only game that's really out. I mean, Lucasfilm hasn't really been doing a good job with Star Wars games. I mean, you have Jedi Survivor coming out, but that's a single-player game. It's not going to be a long-term game. Whenever there's a multiplayer game, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is the game to play. I mean, there's a mobile game, but that's a mobile game. You know, that's not a real competitive-ish game to the mass audiences. Most casual people, most, competitive people are going to be playing Star Wars Battlefront 2. I think that novelty and what the game is, for both casual and competitive players, is kind of wearing off, because the game hasn't been updated in like 2 years, which is still the most stupidest decision I've seen by EA, but that's a whole nother story, and we're seeing the effects of that. And who knows how long the servers are going to stay up. I'm assuming they're going to be up a very long time. Several years into the future. Maybe until 2030. I don't know. But I don't know by 2030 will there be anyone left playing this. Will Battlefront 2 suffer the same fate as Battlefront 2015, where, you can't find games in like most of the public servers? I can see that for Battlefront 2. Now, I think it's going to be the same effect, because Battlefront 2 is a much more bigger game, but I think for most people, they have gone bored. I was forced to take a month off the game, and, I still want to play it. Now, I don't want to play it all the time. I remember playing this game for hours and hours at a time, but now I mainly play it for 15, 30 minutes. Depends how I feel. I think a lot of people are like that now, where if there's an interesting game, then people are going to stick around. But, it all comes down to interest, and more people are getting bored of this game, because I don't know how you can play this game for like 8 hours a day. I mean, it's just the same thing over and over again, and yeah, it gets boring, because there's nothing new. No new updates are happening, no new fixes, no bug fixes, none of that. And on top of that, the people who are left are the dedicated players who would never leave the game, and most of them are tryhards and pros, and you could really feel that when playing the multiplayer games. I mean, if you try playing like Galactic Assault or Supremacy, good luck surviving, because, once the tryhard gets a hero, that's it, and we've all been there. We've all just been cannon fodder to the max level Palpatine or the level 900 Vader insta-killing us. We've all been there, but heroes versus villains is a whole nother story, because with the pros and the tryhards, it makes the game kind of unplayable. Like I said earlier, once a game is finished, most people just leave the game, because people like me don't like being constantly killed over and over again in a 4v1 to people that we cannot beat. And that is just the result of this game, because people have stopped playing it, which means only the pros are left. This is the case for every game. I played multiplayer games that have been dead in the past, and the same thing happened. The pros are left, and it makes it kind of unplayable. But for me personally, this was not the case a month ago. Like, what happened in the months of November that caused this to happen? Because in October, people were still playing the game. It was still pretty active. When I pressed Heroes vs. Villains, it got me to a game instantaneously. That's not really the case anymore. Like, in the days after I got was able to play my computer again, I noticed that me playing a game or joining a game instantly was becoming less and less frequent. And it took me a minute to get into a new game. So I wonder if you guys have been playing Battlefront 2 lately. Have you been noticing this? Now, I am playing on the PC, if I were to play this on the Xbox or the PS5 or whatever, you know, I don't know if it'll be a different experience. More people playing the PC because of mods, but how long is that gonna last? I don't know. That's why I'm wondering, because if it's taking me a minute to find a game in Heroes vs. Villains, which is only 8 people, and it takes me a minute, what is it like on the consoles then? Is it worse? Is it better? Now, I should say, depending on the time of day, like if I had to play this in like the middle of the night, I don't know if it'll be better or worse. But I play, you know, during the nighttime. I mean, afternoon, nighttime, evening. So you would think there'd be more people be playing because, you know, it's after work. If more adults play this game, then, you know, it's after work hours, which maybe I'm having better luck if I were to play this at like 11 a.m. Would there be no one on? I'm not gonna find out because I don't play that early. But it's one of those things where it's like, depending on the day, depending on the, you know, if it's a weekend, you know, weekday, a lot of factors that could be reason why I'm not seeing, you know, the amount of people I used to see in these game modes. Now, I know for like Galactic Assault and Supremacy, they've been suffering for a very long time. That's kind of where we're going, because the player base isn't growing anymore, because there's no advertisement for it. I mean, if people discover this game and they're playing it, that's great, it's good, whether that be from YouTube or whatever, but for the most part, this game is stagnant. It has been, ever since the game stopped being updated. And that's just the case. It's just I feel like it's going to be stagnating to a point where it's based off of whoever's playing. You know, I'm at a point where I am seeing more familiar faces. Every game I see at least someone with the same username, whether it be from a clan or like a person I fought before, and I'm like, oh my god, this dude again. And I just quit. And I go to another game, I'm like, oh my god, another person. Wow. I think he's a hacker. Oh crap, I'm gonna leave again. I go to a new game. Oh, it's the same dude again in the same game as last time. Like, it's a mess. And there's nothing you can do to fix it unless EA and DICE update again, but that's never gonna happen. They said that they need the actual people, like, you know, to actually develop the game, but they're not coming back. They're doing other stuff. They have other employments now, which is sad, but that's kind of the reality of video game development in the modern day. Most games kind of just, you know, exist. If they're not Fortnite, then, you know, they're kind of screwed. To put this on a positive note, I think that Battlefront 2 is still enjoyable. You still play the offline stuff. That's what DICE intended. You know, with all those offline updates. You can actually play the game offline. You don't need players. Who needs players? It's not like you need to level up if you're a brand new player, but no, offline is all good for you. But in all seriousness, I don't know if this is a big deal. I think we're years away from Battlefront 2 just being, like, officially dead. I mean, it's dead, but it's more relevant dead than actually being dead. But like I said, have you experienced a decline in players? Have you seen the same player names over and over again? Have you noticed has it been taking you longer to get into games? I kind of want to know. I don't know if it's just me or if it's just the current state right now, because I've heard other people have been dealing with this. I don't know if it's just a phase. I don't know if we're getting out of it. I don't know if the new year is going to bring anything new. I'm going to go now. If you guys enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe. I'm going, so goodbye, everyone.